Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another movie review. I know a lot of people out there haven't heard of Trouble with the Curve, which is Clint Eastwood's latest film. And a lot of critics really aren't giving it too good of reviews, and I'm not really sure why that is, honestly. But the film itself is really a remarkable film. And it's a story of redemption as well as a love story and how important family is and baseball. Now, I think a lot of the critics that were going to see this were probably expecting something like Moneyball, but no, this is an entirely different story from Moneyball, completely. You've got Clint Eastwood, who plays your token curmudgeon. He's just grumpy and bitter and very hard-nosed, gruff and rough around the edges. And he believes he can take care of himself. He doesn't need anybody's help, and he's starting to experience macular degeneration and glaucoma. He's starting to have floaters, and he bumps into things and curses at him and kicks him out of the way. And at one point in time, he says it's feng shui. Well, he doesn't call it that. It's, you know what it is when he says it, but he doesn't say it right. When his best friend visits, he says it's feng shui. But, you know, his friend never picks up on the fact that he has a visual impairment, or he's developing a visual impairment. At one point in the film, he's reading his newspaper with his magnifying glass. He's looking at it this close, and then when his friend walks in, he just hides it out of the newspapers. Like, oh, I was just looking at the papers. You didn't see anything. Just trying to be really inconspicuous and hide his defect, as it were. It's a movie about fallibilities, I believe, because you've got Gus, and then you have Mickey, his daughter, who has become a lawyer, and there's a reason behind that I'm not going to say, because it's going to be a huge spoiler if I do, and I don't want to spoil this good movie because it really is excellent, and I have just loved it. I absolutely love this film. This film should be seen by father-daughter pairs. It's very touching, and it will warm your heart. And there were many instances where I wept. I admit I became overclamped. I will be direct with you and mention that. As far as movies go, I think this was a 3.5. It's not a 4-star film. It's not the best movie I've ever seen. I love sports movies, don't get me wrong. I'm not a big fan of baseball, but this is the kind of movie that makes you actually enjoy the game, even if you don't understand what's going on. Baseball's pretty straightforward, but it's just this tremendous illustration of people making mistakes and then realizing what they did wrong, or in their mind they thought they were doing something right, and in essence what they did actually hurt the other party. And within the duration of the film, we see a transition taking place between Gus and Mickey, which is absolutely beautiful. I think is just this dynamic between Clint Eastwood's character and Amy Adams, and they have such great chemistry. You would never think that. You think, I'm not sure. Amy Adams, she seems more like the princessly character, the one who never curses, the one who always maintains a good image no matter what. And she does curse in this film, and it didn't really bother me because they really weren't curse words to me. You know, it was, you know, warranted for the situation and for what she was feeling at that time. Yeah, I think that she deserved cursing at her father. I won't say what actually led to her up to the point of her swearing at her dad, but she plays this character that I absolutely love. This girl with gumption, and she reveals something to her father later on in the story, and I won't say what that is, but it's just shows how multi-layered both of them are, and even Justin Timberlake's character is really incredible. He was tremendous. He was really phenomenal, and he's also a baseball whiz. But he was called the Flame because he could pitch a 100 mph fastball. Yowza! Yeah, that's a fast fastball. That is a lickety split fastball, but I absolutely love this movie. It was just beautiful from start to finish, and I thought it had a lot of good morals and values in it, and it just taught a really good story and held together well, even though it had kind of an up in the air ending. You could make it to whatever you wanted, sort of like Lady of the Tiger. It was just really beautifully done, marvelous film. If you have a chance to see it, go do. Even if you're not a Clint Eastwood fan, it's a movie that I think fathers and daughters or families themselves can really enjoy. If you like baseball, go see it if you like baseball, because I'm sure that there's going to be something in this movie that you can relate to. And there are many poignant, touching moments within the movie as well that take you off guard, and they just tug at you and they bring your tears out. And I give it 2 thumbs up. Now, I'm an Eastwood fan, so of course I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. I love Clint Eastwood, so I'm not going to say that much more about it. It's really worthwhile to see it in the cinema because the experience of actually seeing it in the cinema makes it that much more realistic. And another thing I enjoyed was the fact that, well, it was filmed in Georgia, but they say it was South Carolina in the movie, and I consider myself kind of a Carolina girl, even though my second home away from home is South Carolina rather than North Carolina. North Carolina is a lot like Indiana. Only the hills are mountains and the trees are tremendous, and they just go on for miles. And they have mountain air. Well, we have hilly air. And the pressure that you feel, there really isn't that much pressure. If you go up a hill, your ears will pop. But if you go up a mountain, you're going to need gum because the pressure in your head, you need to equalize it to keep your ears from doing that all the time. And it's really a strange feeling. But anyway, I'm getting kind of off track. But the panorama that they had from North Carolina was just extravagant. I just thought it was majestic in the way that they did that. And I think that the choice of music was also very apropos. I really can't say that much more other than John Goodman. He played in what I would like to call an augmented cameo role. Instead of just having one shot of him being on the screen, just one-liner screen time, he had this long duration of screen time. So he was more than just a cameo. And his character played the friend of Gus. And even with his character, he's not telling him everything. He isn't even telling McFlanahan, or the Flame, anything, which is Justin Timberlake's character. You don't really have any communication. There's no communication. Gus is very walled in. He's introverted, he's introspective, he's aloof, he's cold and sterile. He won't allow people into his space. And Mickey is similar in this way when we see her love story unfolding. And it's just a really miraculous transformation that we see in her when she begins to just blossom. It just takes your breath away. But it really is a moving story and remarkably done, and I absolutely loved it. I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a fan of any of the things I mentioned, give it a try. You might just find out that you enjoy it, because we never know if we will like something unless we try.